Good afternoon and a very warm welcome to the valedictory session of the 5th International Conference on Literature, Society and Global Media. I would like to start the session by welcoming the speakers, Dr. J.A.H. Khatri, Dr. Tanushree Mukherjee, Dr. Rukmin, and Dr. Bhargavi T. Hemeke. I'd like to start by inviting Dr. J.A.H. Khatri for a few words.
Thank you, Amrita. Good evening to all. And I probably like to welcome you all in the last session of this International Conference on Literature, Society, and Global Media. And I've been attending the previous presenters, and probably I feel like I should talk more about society. Okay, so like that middle term, second term of our conference title, Literature, Society, and Global Media. Society is something that uh, provides us a kind of status of being human, what makes us different from all the other species on the planet Earth. And literature is probably something, all the different forms of literature, something that uh, gives us a kind of cultivatory habits of being human. It makes us human. Okay. And media is something that connects us. But in today's time, what we normally call a kind of, let's say, virtual society, or the society where the digital impact is very, very powerful. Okay. We now have started talking about something called humanism or humanity, or digital humanism and digital humanities. And there is a need of talking about this new type of philosophy to look at our society, to look at ourselves. Okay, so this is a kind of a new kind of philosophy where uh, we're trying to cope up with the digital society, the digital world, the world which has become a kind of a global village. And we as a human are basically losing our what we call humanness. Okay, the exclusivity of human and human intelligence is probably at stake. So thinkers like, let's say, Slavoj Zizek, who writes, if I'm not wrong, in 2016 in his book called Disparities, where he talks about different forms of anti-humanisms. Okay, that there is one philosophy that places humans at the center. Okay, and humans in the sense humans all equal, all liberal. Okay, we don't here categorize within humans. Okay, so humans and non-humans, that's the primary category. But then there has been certain theories, certain philosophies that uh, challenges the idea of human. Okay, and Slavoj Zizek basically makes four categories here. Okay, the fourth category is something that we should be concerned about when we are moving into this idea of global media. So first, Zizek calls the what we call theocentric anti-humanism. That is religion-based humanity. That is, you don't simply are a human, but you are part of a particular religion or a cult. Okay. So there is no idea of secular, equal, liberal human. Okay. Either you are of a particular religious group, religious cult, or you are not uh, equal to humans. Okay. So that kind of categorization was the first challenge, according to Zizek, to the idea of the humanity, or what we call humanness. Second philosophy that is considered theoretical anti-humanism. That is something like structuralism, post-structuralism, where the humans are basically put as one of the what we call clues within a larger structure. Okay, So there we are losing our exclusivity. Okay, that we are human, but majority of these thinkers engaged in these kind of philosophy, they were seeing human in certain sort of chains. Well, the third type of category or third category that Zizek talks about is called deep ecological anti-humanism, where humans are seen as ultimately ecological creatures. So they are one of the species, one of the animals like any other animals on the earth. So um, that's again, there is a kind of reduction where humans don't have their own uniqueness. The fourth one, which is basically coming from the kind of development we have in technology, the kind of development we have in science, the kind of development we have in different forms of media. Okay. It is known as post-humanism and transhumanism. Here, the post-humanism argues that the socio-technological advances, okay, whatever is happening in the form of technology, in the form of society, the kind of advances that we are moving into, okay, these progresses undermines the exclusivity of the humans. And similarly, transhumanism says or refers to the technological advancement that questions the uniqueness of human intelligence. Earlier, we were considered the only intelligent species. Okay. But today, even the robots and artificial intelligence are also intelligent. In fact, they directly or indirectly they enter into almost all our decision making processes. So, of course, global media had changed a lot in terms of our life positively. But at the same time, these are some challenges that the modern philosophers of what we call digital humanities or digital humanism are seeing as a kind of very uh, what we call question to the human identity. Okay. That will we be the same humans, same exclusive, intelligent people that we were. Now, this is a very, very huge field, and in almost all the areas, you will have your own sub-discipline, and you can work there with a lot of data. Okay. But the question there, the philosophers are raising is, shall we bring the human and humanness into the center? Again, not the human in the sense that this is male or female. Here they are talking about a human without the categories. Okay. Human opposed to non-human. Okay. And that's where a lot of, let's say, media research, a lot of research in what we call the modern humanities are directed. Many countries are very serious about it. Slavoj Zizek himself has written a lot about it. Okay. So this is something that we should also start thinking, because we all see all the positive aspects about uh, the kind of technology that we are using. Okay, like COVID-19, uh, we have realized that COVID-19 has allowed us to work from home, and we started learning independently. There has been a lot of good things that we have learned from that. But at the same time, the very idea of public space and public sphere is being compromised. Okay, the moment we started thinking about these kind of communication processes. Okay, so that's where we need to now probably divert our attentions, and we need to look at the text generated by various forms of media, various artificial intelligence, and even by humans. okay, from a new perspective, and we should need to check whether the human is at the center or not. So I think that's my time. It's already 12 minutes, so I should stop. uh, Thank you, all of you, for listening to me, and thank you, Research Culture Society and Dr. Patel, for giving me this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. I would now like to invite Dr. Tanushree Mukherjee to share her views.
Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, all right. So, a very good evening to all the esteemed panelists who are sitting over here in the valedictory session of this 2 days very insightful conference being organized by Research Culture Society. So, on that note, again, a very special thanks to Patel sir for giving me this wonderful opportunity where I can share a couple of few of my insights in regard to the topic of this conference. And the area which I would definitely like to speak on is media, because I'm a senior faculty in the area of journalism and mass communication. So I would like to say one thing. The media has developed and progressed a lot. We keep on teaching different specialized domains in the field of media, IT, sometimes radio, sometimes public relations, sometimes even management, sometimes even research also. But one thing which I would like to emphasize, in this present century, we all are aware of corporatization of media. When we talk about Indian media, or even if we talk about global media per se, we see a lot of corporatization of media, in the sense we find big business houses, organizations, taking care of media, and we can divide them into different groups. They can be a kind of a chain ownership of media. There can be vertical ownership of media, or there are on the other side big conglomerates, big conglomerates media ownership patterns, or cross media ownership patterns. We all have heard these big media barons, big media owners, whether it is at Z, or whether it is Reliance, or whether it is Bennett, or Warner Brothers, or maybe News Corp, Rupert Murdoch. So when we find so much of corporatization of media, and we also see there is not a single media outlet which wants to be behind in the race, that we are doing something different, we are showing something different. But my today, the thing which I would like to focus on is that content and research is something which has always been important, which is still now very important, which will be important. I want to draw the attention of all the esteemed panelists and all the paper presenters, and even some of the students who are sitting over here. In today's times, when we speak a lot about digital platforms, social media platforms, the immersively increasing significance of artificial intelligence, the communication managers, the communication professionals, they cannot survive, or the marketing people or the brand managers in today's times, they cannot survive without the AI tools. They are having great importance. In this today's scenario, we are also aware of the very famous, let me elaborate on it, the PISO model. PESO, that is called the PISO model. Every brand, every organization nowadays has this PISO model. Now, what are the meaning of this PISO model? Now, P means, paid media. E means earned media. S means shared media. And O means owned media. So now gone are the days, in earlier times, we used to have only traditional media, television outlets and the newspaper organizations. And, the reports, the news used to go from the side of the organizations to the media outlets. And we used to think whether they will publish or not. And in case if they are publishing, how much of censoring will be done on the content, how much of the content will be really published. But nowadays, we are not waiting, we are absolutely not waiting, because every brand, every organization, every media outlet, Every media outlet organizations, they have their own media, platforms. They're having their social media platforms, starting from all these LinkedIn, Twitter plays a very active role. They're having their own blogs and all. So there is endless platforms where we are sharing our content, and rather they are much more popular. So the owned media is no longer the buzzword. Every organization nowadays, they're not waiting for the paid media actually to go on. Every organization has got their own media platforms. But what lies the difference? I want to emphasize what lies the difference. The difference is in case of earned media. Here lies a kind of distinguishing factor when we're talking about media. I just now emphasize that two things always makes an organization stand out, a media organization stand out, and that is, content and research. The two words on which I started off. And they are very much related to, earned media and shared media. Everybody can have a paid media. Everybody can have a owned media. But what you cannot have is a kind of a shared media and earned media. See, earned media is something when you're doing too good, something when you come up with a kind of a very important thing which you're doing for the society, or some kind of an important announcement which you make, or a really path breaking story which you cover, or really when you showcase some of the very marginalized sections of the society, when you come up with content which is really praiseworthy, then you get the support of the people. Then you find a huge number of people appreciating media, a huge number of people appreciating the content of the media. You get a lot of mentions on the social media platforms. You get a lot of support from the side of the people coming on the different platforms. The reviews goes up from the side of the people. People make them their own story. They start sharing them. So one thing which I emphasize, when we teach the students, when we teach them, we emphasize that in today's times, media functioning, the content has changed, the platform has changed, the preferences has changed. But if you really want to showcase that you are coming up with something which should be really the task and the responsibility of a journalist in the real sense, then it should be really praiseworthy content. Content on which you earn the support of the people, content on which you get the appreciation of the people. And that makes a media, whether Indian media or global media, stand apart from others. And the second thing which I wanted to emphasize is, research. Whatever you share, why do we discuss about fake news? Why do we talk about planted news? Why do we talk about, half-baked stories? Why do we talk about scoops? The only thing is that, in the craze for this, we are forgetting the path of research. We are forgetting the path of reading. To excel in the field of media, I want to say, even if you are entering into a video production house, even if you are going into the public relations industry, even if you are in the case of television or a presenter, or even if you are in a newspaper field, either as a fresher journalist or a trainee journalist or a correspondent, or in the field of radio, everywhere you find that if you want that your content should be far different from others, so here you require a lot of reading, a lot of research. So I would like to say that two words which can never be replaced. You find, almost all the TV channels, somewhere or the other in different platforms, they are criticized because somewhere they're having the same formats, the same kind of contents coming about. So how can a journalist, how can a media person in today's scenario really be different from the entire crowd? And that is something which we keep on emphasizing when we guide our students, when we keep on teaching our students, that even to file a new story, even to come up with a kind of an article, even to make a kind of a documentary, even to come up with a digital storytelling narrative, whatever it is, something which stands out is how much amount, or maybe a film, how much amount of research have you done behind it? In today's times, you find, I think all of you are aware of the fact, that, digital storytelling has become something which is very important, because, we people are, like Khatri sir was right now discussing, he was very rightly mentioning, we all are very human, we all are also very much emotional. So when we talk about the communication strategies, when we talk about the content which is being delivered and disseminated by the media, we always nowadays find that text somewhere, they don't appeal to the masses, because we should not forget the fact that the attention span of the people is decreasing, right? Nowadays you find that you, after I feel 40 seconds, after 40 seconds or 45 seconds, you get bored of listening to something. Maybe the competition might become so intense and fierce in the coming future that the attention span might come down to maybe 20 seconds. So over there we find that huge amount of text, huge amount of, writing things also don't appeal to the people. So nowadays we find that video marketing, they have become very, very important. Anything in the video format. There was a time when we used to get influenced by advertisements, commercials, but now we talk about ad films. So there's a difference between an ad and an ad film. There's a difference between just telling something. There's a difference between telling something with a kind of a storytelling narrative, because that is something which appeals to the people. That is something which really goes out to the people. So in today's times, when we talk about all these video content coming up, all kinds of digital storytelling, ads, narratives coming up, here also I want to emphasize that what are the contents of your stories? What are you showing in those stories? How much that is relatable to the masses? I just want to say one thing. Technology has developed a lot. In media, we have to teach technology. Nowadays we have an equal focus on theoretical lectures as well as practical lectures. We give equal emphasis on delivering practical sessions to the students as well as the theoretical sessions to the students. But then something which is very significant, even if you're making a graphics, even if you're making a kind of an animated video, something which makes something different from all others is what are the contents shown in that, and how much amount of research and reading you have done behind it. So I would like to emphasize that in today's times, we say that artificial intelligence, chat GPT has created waves, but I feel nothing to worry so much about, because as long as we are there to come up with something new, something talking about society at large, something which has got the message of equity, something which has got the message of inclusiveness, something which has got the message of environmental sustainability, something which has got the message of societal impact, societal thinking, something which serves for public interest, that thing will always stay on. So, and that requires a human angle, that requires a human touch. And that is something which we all should try to enhance, which we all should try to encourage in today's global media scenario, in today's media scenario, when we talk about real, content worthy subjects. And that is applicable to media of all different platforms. So on that note, I would like to end my talk and my session. Once again, all my heartfelt thanks to the entire organizers of Research Culture Society for giving me this wonderful opportunity to share my valuable insights. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for your wonderful insights, ma'am. I would now like to invite Dr. Rukmanji to express her thoughts.
Okay, good afternoon from Indonesia. Can my voice clearly?
Yes, ma'am, you are audible.
Okay, thank you. Okay, respectable to all the team of International Conference on Literature, Society, and Global Media, and also all the valedictory speakers and all the presenters and the participants. See you again, see me again in twice, yesterday and today. And right now I'm going to share about the global media. It means that here I'm going to share knowledge about digital media. One of the most familiar things that this is dealing with the AI or artificial intelligence. Actually, that artificial intelligence has the potential to perform the education industry by enhancing learning, assisting teachers, and also help the students in the process learning. And then the artificial intelligence can be used in education, especially for first making assessment, and the second one is making grading, and then making curriculum, and also making paraphrasing of the sentences. And talking about artificial intelligence, this is the most important thing is about ChatGPT. Maybe everyone know about ChatGPT, but actually ChatGPT is one of a chat box which can provide the tasks or question from the users. So it is a tool that make the teachers or the students easily to find out some sources. And also we know that some application for artificial intelligence that the teacher needs to know, they are for example ClassPoint AI. It means that ClassPoint AI is one of the applications that can be used to make questions, to make assignment. So it is very easy for the teachers to make question by using ClassPoint. So we can download the ClassPoint application, and then we can just type only one word. So the application can generate the questions. And the second one is Flipboard. Flipboard here, I think it is familiar, especially for the students and also the researchers, that Flipboard can make our copy-paste phrases or sentences, and then it can paraphrase in order to not identified as the plagiarism. So the Flipboard here usually are used by the students, teachers, and also researchers. In the Flipboard also there are some application. It can be as like a Grammarly, and then plagiarism checkers also. And the third is PowerPoint speaker codes. PowerPoint speaker codes here. This is also application that this application help the presenters to make their presentation more interesting. It means that this application can arrange, can request, and can give feedback the tone, the voice, and also the voice and the tone. Yeah, and the application can make some revision. So it means that the presenters can be helped by this application to make their presentation better. And the fourth is Slide AI. Slide AI, I usually use it just only for help. It means that when we want to make slide, of course we need to read many resources, many articles, research, etc. But this slide can help us. It means that please download the Slide AI, and then you just type the keywords. So this application will generate the slides, the fully slides. So you can take one, or maybe you can modify with your background knowledge. And the fourth is by saying education co-pilot. Education co-pilot here means that this is for the teachers. So if the teachers want to make it's like a lesson plan and then the kinds of assessment, so they can download use this co-pilot, education co-pilot. So you can download this and then you can write down the subjects of the course that you want to use for, that you want to make a lesson plan, for example. So directly this application generates the lesson plans in detail. So you can adapt from it. And also we use grade scope. Grade scope here means that this application, grade scope, yeah, this is the name. This application is used to grade our students. So it will be economical for our time to grade, to give score the students one by one, because we can use the grade scope application. Grade scope application not only for multiple choice, but also for the essay test. And the last one is the formative AI. It can be for grading and also for giving feedback. So if the students have so many errors, so directly the formative AI, the application of formative AI can directly give feedback and make it correct. So it means that the student can learn by themselves, not must be depend on the teacher or lecturer. I think that's all about my presentation dealing about AI or artificial intelligence. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Thank you so much for your thoughts. I would now like to invite Dr. Bhargavi D. Hemike to enlighten us with her thoughts.
Good afternoon, everyone. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am, you're audible.
Yeah. So today, I think with my concluding remarks, I'm also given a responsibility of announcing the winners, isn't it?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
All right. So I have to first and foremost congratulate Research Culture Studies, Research Culture Society for coming up with this kind of literature, society, and global media. These these three topics, converging them into one, and also bringing the fifth edition of the same is not an easy task. So, in this world where people are so restless, people are so, invested in diverse, multiple things, because again, due to the ill effects of media, making them research, think of some diverse topics connected to this theme and present them enthusiastically is not an easy task. So each session had so many presenters bringing so many topics. Although, my suggestion to some of the sessions I heard, it would be interesting if it would be primary data. Most of them dwelled on secondary data. And as one of the session share commented, the proper research method was not followed. Also, the only one or two presenters spoke about theoretical framework. So all those presenters who are listening to me now, it's my request to, whenever you present a paper, kindly have a theoretical framework attached to your topic, and also, connect your analysis with your objectives and research questions. Only then, because you have limited time, so you need to quickly also be mindful of the time and bring in all those important aspects of your research, which is going to bring in new knowledge, new dimension, which will actually make us think more on that, research more on that, advance that research where you have left here. So this is one small reflection which I want to make to all these presenters here. I'm sure all of you all want to know your who got the best paper award. But yeah, in this age of global village where every tweet or a viral video can influence millions, can change minds, impact lives, ignite revolutions, these kind of discourses, on storytelling, how to create content, how to curate content, is very meaningful according to me. And also, one thing we have to understand, wherever we go, as ma'am was just telling, whatever be the advancement, human emotions remain the same. Emotions like love, fear, anger, these are same irrespective of languages, irrespective of media forms, irrespective of technology. These intrinsic emotions are same, which can be expressed effectively only when there is a literature angle connected to it. So, that way, I think this conference title theme is very meaningful. That is, bringing media, literature, and its impact on the society, converging all these things. I wish in the next edition, there are many researchers connected directly on these topics, will actually bring interesting narratives, according to me. All the speakers have spoken enough. I think I have just tried to conclude my thoughts on what I saw here. I would like to congratulate Dr. Patel once again, for coming up with this huge discourse, this weekend. And now I think I would like to announce the best paper awardees. If you can change the slide. And also, before I announce, I want to congratulate and thank our moderators, Ishita and Amrita, for doing a wonderful job, taking us seamlessly, session after session, trying to, build the gap in a very professional way. I'm very proud of you both. Thank you. So I think we can go to the prize winners screen now. And we are very happy to associate with you, sir, Jain University Department of Journalism and Communication, CMS. We are very proud to associate with you again, like last 2 years, and looking forward again to associate with you next year. So now, the first best presenter award goes to Anamika Chowdhury. Can you bring Anamika? Anamika Chowdhury for her presentation. So Anamika Chowdhury, you have got the best paper award. And then the ID is 026. The second best paper award goes to Hauda Barusili. Can you go to Hauda Barusidi? The ID is 032. And the third best paper award goes to Dr. Asha Bala, 048. And the another winner is Pragya Lal, 017. Can you bring Pragya Lal, 017. And another winner of this conference for the best paper is Dr. G.N. Sharma, 019. Dr. G.N. Sharma, 019. Yeah, so congratulations to all the winners. You did wonderful job. Why you stood apart from the rest was you had lot of facts, statistics, and information, new information, and also you maintained the time limit given to you. So these were the parameters we looked before announcing and selecting the award winners. So Anamika Chowdhury, 026, 032 Hauda Barusili, 048 Dr. Asha Bala, 018 Pragya Lal, 019 Dr. G.N. Sharma. Huge congratulations to all of you. All the best for your future research. from Research Culture Society, Jane deemed to be university, and all other collaborators. Thank you all.
Thank you, ma'am. So
Thank
as
you.
we come to the close of this enriching online international conference on literature, society, and global media, it is with a sense of profound satisfaction that I and my fellow moderator Ishita stand before you. Over the past 2 days, we have witnessed an impressive array of scholarly contributions that have illuminated the intersections between literature, society, and the ever-evolving landscape of global media. Our esteemed presenters have shared their insights, research, and perspective on a wide range of topics. Each presentation has added a unique layer to our collective understanding of these complex and interdependent realms. I would like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to all the presenters who have invested their time, expertise, and passion into delivering such exceptional papers. Your dedication is an inspiration to us all. I also want to acknowledge the efforts of the organizing committee, without whom this conference would not have been possible. Your tireless work behind the scenes, from planning and logistics to technical support, has been nothing short of exception. A special thanks goes to our reviewers who dedicated their time and expertise to ensure the quality and rigor of the papers presented. Your meticulous evaluations have been invaluable in shaping the content and discussions of this conference. To our virtual audience, thank you for your participation and engagement. As we conclude this conference, let us carry forward the knowledge, insights, and connections forged here into our respective fields and communities. May the bonds established during this event serve as a foundation for future collaboration and endeavors. In closing, I want to express my deepest appreciation to each and every one of you for making this conference a resounding success. Your passion for knowledge and your commitment to the advancement of literature, society, and global media are the driving forces that behind this success. Thank you once again, and I wish you all continued success in your academic pursuits and endeavors. Until we meet again. Thank you.